Hey everybody, welcome back to Guys Night Lab. I'm Jesus Velasquez.
And I'm Jordan Zacharias.
And if you caught our last video, you probably noticed that we talked about a movie called Stepfather. Mm-hmm. Well, today, we're going to give you more of that loving and talk about a movie called Stepfather 2.
Yes.
So, the journey continues.
You thought Stepfather 1 was crazy.
Yeah, Stepfather 2 is amazing. Amazing.
The best wedding scene ever.
So anyways, Stepfather 2 continues. We're not going to spoil what happened at the end of Stepfather 1. You'll just have to watch it. But as you can tell, there's a sequel, so something happened. So
and the part 2, by the way, recaps the end of part 1.
Yes.
So if you missed it, you can at least see what happened at the end of part 1.
Absolutely. But we recommend watching Stepfather 1 first. Like I said, it's a tight 90. You'll get through it first. You can watch both movies in under like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, maybe. It's a tight 90. It's an 80s 40.
Yeah, exactly. It's an 80s 40. But anyway, so Stepfather 2... our main character, Terry O'Quinn, he's the stepfather. He's in a insane asylum. And so, anyways, he breaks out. It's kind of silly how he breaks out, but whatever. These movies are silly. So he breaks out, and then he starts again. He finds a new home or a new suburban neighborhood, new place, new lonely housewife.
He's clearly totally rehabilitated.
Oh, for sure. He knows exactly how to do it. I mean, this guy's got this thing down to a science.
Yeah.
I mean, and here's the thing. Okay. All like Stepfather, scary movie stuff aside, I was just thinking about this like today because I'm like, wait a second. Okay, so first off, in the first movie, we forgot to mention that he's a real estate agent. He's just a real estate agent. He works for a real estate company, just like nothing. He's a murderous, insane person. He just got a job as a real estate agent. In this one, he takes his job as a family therapist.
He hangs up a sign on a door that says family therapist, and all of a sudden he has a line out the door of people who need counseling. And you're like, huh?
I'm an actual therapist. I went to school for 7 years. I have 2 master's degrees, and I've never had as many clients as this guy has.
Therapist / real estate agent / stepfather.
So I was like, okay. I was like, this is kind of funny. So anyways, but he poses as a family therapist. He's this murderous guy who poses as a family therapist. But that wasn't it that I was thinking. I was like, wait a second. This guy gets a house, like this huge, like 3-4 bedroom house that he's renting or mortgaging or whatever.
Yeah.
How?
Okay, we'll tell you how. And this is a spoiler, but it's amazing. Is when he escapes the insane asylum in the beginning, he mugs a dude there's like an old guy who's standing at the back of his car with his hand in the trunk. Terry Quinn sneaks up behind him, crushes his hand, and then drives off with the dude's car and is casually going through his wallet. And this is within the first 5 minutes of the film, maybe 10 minutes max. He's going through his wallet, and I swear the guy has like $100,000 in there. You're just like, oh, that was convenient. So he has all this money. He's got thousands of dollars he's pulling out pretty much. It's like hundreds and hundreds.
I must have grabbed a snack when that happened. I was making popcorn, so maybe that's I missed that whole.
Seriously though, Max, the guy probably had a lot of cash on him, but let's say he had $1,500 on him, maybe $2,000, whatever. It's like, A, that's lucky, but B, all of a sudden he's got like a home, I guess he's renting, but maybe he like, who knows what he paid with, if it's that and something else. But yeah, all of a sudden he's got a home, he's got an office, he's got a whole new life set up, and then he immediately starts hitting on his neighbor who's this single mom or her husband just left him, so he's like, hello.
Yeah. Hello.
It's great stuff.
They're like, oh yes, there's the stepfather's in here. The lonely.
Did you meet the new therapist?
Yeah.
He has a line around the block.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, all that aside, let's get back to the movie. I'm just kind of like, we live in California, and like the housing market here is insane. I can't buy anything under like $4,000 like a month. This is This guy's just ranking it in, probably paying $200 a month in mortgage.
Killing it.
Stepfather and
all over the place.
I didn't know you could. I didn't know you could just become a therapist without going to school, and B, I didn't know you could date one of your clients.
Yeah, well,
good to know.
Guys living the dream.
Yeah. So anyways, the lead protagonist, or I guess she's the protagonist in the movie, is
old crazy eyes.
Yeah, old crazy. Meg Foster. She was in Blind Fury, Stepfather 2. She's in other things, but you'd probably remember her best from They Live with Roddy Piper. And
she's got these eyes that are so piercing blue, but so light blue that they're almost like clear.
Oh yeah,
they're almost transparent, and they just like they look like they burn a hole through your soul.
It's really like they're her like trademark. Like she has red hair, and I don't know if it's the red hair or
smoker voice. Yeah,
for sure. So like my wife has blue eyes, but like her eyes like pop. Like once you like Google Meg Foster, you'll know who we're talking about.
Yeah, you'll go, ooh, I remember her.
So anyways, in Stepfather 2, he just kind of continues where he left off in Stepfather 1. He wants to kind of do the whole thing, get the whole family lifestyle, get the whole suburban family. And I don't know if it's just about him just having order, or if it's just that he wants this and then he just wants to murder them. And
I was trying to figure that out between. I mean, to give you guys a little clue, in the last few days, we watched part 1 and part 2, which I'd never seen either. Seuss had seen both of them, but I still am trying to figure out what the whole motivation is. Other than he obviously had a strict father. He got beat, I'm sure, mercilessly as a kid, probably, and so it was his father demanding order in the house. But I think, they don't fully explain where his psychosis came from.
All right, as a therapist, just kidding. Anyways, I always kind of thought like he couldn't get excited or get in the mood if it wasn't for the like bloodlust killing.
Right,
That's my
that makes
thoughts. Because there's certain parts in the movies where he's just like, oh, he's looking at a family like in a commercial, and he's just like, oh. He's like
he wants that because he knows he can't have it. Because he's going to ruin it and murder everyone, I think is the idea.
Maybe. And so there's just something he wants, but it's like when Tommy Boy, and he's like, I want to do
yeah.
So that's what he does. So anyways, Jonathan Landis? Jonathan Brandis, sorry. He was in Sidekicks. He actually passed away like almost 20 years ago. But he was in Sidekicks and Sequest.
Sequest!
Yeah, he was in other movies. You'd recognize him too. He's the son.
I hear the dog from Frasier's getting ready the dolphin from Sequest tonight.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, the whole movie is pretty much a bunch of people get murdered that kind of get close to the truth. Oh, the basketball thing. That was good.
Yes.
So he finds a secret, or not a secret. Someone died or something, so he takes on their identity. But then there's this nosy like mailman lady that looks through everyone's mail, and she finds out that he's not who he says he was, and he tries to pull up like, that is me. People change a lot, and then she like shows like the basketball team. He's like, oh, you play basketball?
Yeah, from the high school he supposedly went to, and the whole team is.
It's like an all black. It's like an all black high school, and he's like, oh.
He's like, yeah, I'm right there in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. So I just was like, why wouldn't you just turn him in at that point? And then, of course, but anyways, so all this stuff happens. Same kind of deal with Stepfather 1, but.
And again, the climax is the best part. The third act is where they crank it up to 11.
Oh, absolutely. I think Stepfather 1 is a lot punchier, and I think there's a little, like, not to say better kills, but it's just, it flows better. Stepfather 2 is great, but
it's slightly slower.
Yeah, it's a slightly slower. But both act 3s in both movies, I mean, so this one that set up that they're getting married, and it's the wedding day. There's guests at the venue, at the church. There's, presents at the reception.
They're in the back rooms getting all suited up and ready to walk down the aisle together.
So so then like they're in their like bride and groom room, and so there's all these little crumbs that are leading to the wife or the fiance figuring out that he's the stepfather killer or whatever. Yep. And then finally she like figures it out, and then he goes in there, and then it just goes off. Like, I mean, straight like. I mean,
it goes WWE in back of the church.
I mean, it's kind of funny because, like, at first it's kind of disturbing because, like, he's like beating up a lady, but then it just gets like wild and crazy.
It gets Looney Tunes-ish very quickly,
and she like fights back, and then the son
gets involved.
It's something.
The dolphin from Sequest shows up. It's crazy.
So yeah. The brother from the first one, no, joking.
He's like, I was back.
The man that he stole, you took my wallet.
I had $30,000 in that wallet.
Anyways, but Stepfather 2 is a fun ride. It's a great movie. It's definitely like another 80s movie. Mm-hmm. Like I said, not as good as Stepfather 1, but just it's a good movie.
Again, it has the straight-to-video feel to it.
Yeah, absolutely. But one of those movies, like I said, that has probably flown under the radar. Definitely check it out this Halloween. It's a fun movie. I don't think there's any like nudity. There's some like risque parts, but
it's mostly just violence in this one.
Yeah, mostly violence, maybe some language.
No mirrors.
No mirrors in this one.
Yeah.
But definitely a fun movie. I mean, we all had a good laugh and had a great time. So either watch it by yourself if you're bored or with some friends, and just remember that stepfathers are fathers too.
And if you want to have a really good time this Halloween, I agree with that sentiment. And also, if you want to have a really good time this Halloween, just do a double feature. Do them back to back in one night. You will have a great time. Because they're not seriously scary movies. They're, like you said, not campy or trying to be campy, but they are a little campy by accident, I think.
Yeah.
And they just have some great, again, the third acts in both movies are just, they're worth it.
If you have like a Friday night where you get with your buddies and watch like horror movies or whatever for Halloween, honestly, if you start it like at 8, you'll be done before like midnight. I don't even think it'll go that long. So,
and for you 45-year-olds out there, you need to go to bed way earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Like our buddy does.
Yes, You can start the movie at 3.
Yeah,
and
you get
then-
the catch the early bird special at Spires. You
Yeah.
go over and watch Stepfather 1 and 2, and you're in bed by 4 p.m.
Excuse me, do you have the navy bean soup?
What do you got in a Stepfather casserole?
Anyways, happy Halloween, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Happy Halloween. Watch out for Stepfathers.